And so I'd love to have you share a bit about your journey so far and, all the things that, has helped shape you to be the person you are, but also the amazing athlete that you are today.
Yeah, for sure. I think that my journey's, very similar to a lot of people, especially being an athlete. I was very young when I started out, and a lot of my success as an athlete was based on talent. So for me, when I think about my journey, I think about all the lessons. So the lessons are usually mistakes. So I made a lot of mistakes when I was young. More so because I had a lot of talent and I was always a hard worker. But the hard work was always based around reward. So, we sort of touched on this before, is that when you do something and reward is what you're working towards, when you get that reward, then what next? You're always having to reinvent the wheel. So you're always having to start again. So for me now, my mindset's all about the journey, and that journey is never ending. So growth, learning, all of that is never ending. Like there's no finish line to that. So it's all about, for me, whenever I work hard and do certain things, build habits, and I'm always trying to be consistent. And then there's things that you kind of just achieve along the way. And those things are just continuous. They're just like little stoppages that you look back on, or when you get to those things, hey, you appreciate them for what they are. But the ultimate goal is the continuation of that journey.
And that journey for you, I guess so far, a really big part of it has been your sport.
Yep.
And I guess your sport is like a craft that it sounds like you're constantly on this journey to improve on and, be really in the moment with what that like journey feels like for you. Where did it start and how did you realize that this was your passion?
I think it's always been my passion since I was a young kid in terms of like playing sport. I always was talented, coordinated, and like quite gifted in any type of activity that involved a ball or some type of skill. But more so, I'd say it's more so in recent times that it became my passion, like in terms of the whole process behind it all. If you're outside looking in, you see the product of like how I perform in a game, but you don't see all the stuff that goes into being able to do that. So for me, like the part that's super enjoyable is the everyday. So going about, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, all that stuff in between. That to me is like the part that I'm most passionate about. So within being an athlete, that comes down to diet, how I work out, my mindset, the things that are important in terms of how I prepare for the game. And a lot of athletes, in my opinion, have it backwards. Their focus is solely on the game, but the game is the least time spent. So we kind of had a conversation before. In a year, let's say maximum you play 30 games a year. But so 30 games, that's 30 days out of 365. That's not a hell of a lot. The training though is you train at least around 300 days. So that becomes the difficult part. So for me, that's again goes back to the detail in that, building habits, building discipline for those 300 days, which allows me to perform quite well in the 30 games, that maximum of 30 games that I may play. So that's my passion there, and the daily grind, being able to get great at that part, and then let the part that everybody else sees be a part that I just enjoy.